Colorado.
Right, absolutely. So your homes are filled, we talked about it a bit, with antiques, artwork, European touches, South and Central America accents.
Mhm.
None of it feels random, obviously. And can you walk us through the intention behind that? Why does it matter that a rental feels kind of layered and not staged?
Yeah. Yeah. Not go back to education, but the cultural competency and cultural amenities that are so important to me. And obviously, Emectus brings a lot of that to the table too. Um, it was about we've traveled so much, and it was important to us to curate places that sort of brought those feelings and those great memories back to us. Now they're going to be different, obviously, because you're not physically overseas or you're not traveling. In World Market is you can easily go grab all these things and cobble together a look. But I'm not sure that that wasn't our intent. In fact, a little anecdote here. I was at a business mastermind retreat for short-term rentals. I mean, that's my job. So I go to retreats and I'm in masterminds and I make sure I understand the latest and greatest. And this one was amazing. We actually went to Disney and stayed on the property and then had guest speakers come in and talk about Disney. The person who put the conference together had this connection and it was just amazing. And one of the women that we talked with, she is responsible for building the Avatar, uh, the movie Avatar site. She's also working in Tokyo. And that was one of my questions was, so what is your recommendation to curating a space that doesn't look staged, that doesn't look store-bought, even though, that's all made in China and imported? And that's what we talked about, that authenticity, that kind of cultural authenticity, to make sure that if, like in our Santa Fe place, yes, I've got some Guatemalan pieces in there. But we also traveled there and there, it's not like, oh, I'm trying to slip this off as Southwestern. It's
Right.
like it's by design and they're clustered together. Um, so I think that's really important to us is that it's not just a bunch of, let's go buy these knockoffs. And we've got these things and we want to share them, and our own house can only hold so much, and
Right.
our kids can only inherit so much of this stuff. So
And we're also I'm true. I was also raised with like thrift. My mom is a thrifter, loves antique stores, and me and Kiara have been very like I lived with Kiara for the 5 years and very intentional. And each corner we decorated that house was intentionally like things that are unique and things that are could be recycled. And I think we have tried to do that in all the properties, make
Yeah.
sure that things we have is not just bought, but it has something. It came from somewhere that has a story to tell, and
Yeah.
also a story that has meaning to us, and also the people who are gonna stay there are gonna have a different story with that.
Hmm. Yeah. That's very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
True, true.
Yeah, and it seems like because they are different, they're in different areas, that any property that you rent out from the Wynn Group, you're getting a different experience. So it's worth
Yeah.
actually going
Yeah.
and renting out the different ones at different times, because it's not like, and it sounds like it still feels like cozy and a home, but it's a different experience. So maybe like you can equate it to Epcot Center when you're going into
Yes.
the
I love
Bavarian
that.
Yeah.
area, or you're
Yeah.
going into the Spain, or anything like that. And so here you are in an area, but you get immersed in that particular culture. And it sounds like you guys
Yeah.
really wanted to make sure that those visiting those areas, wherever you have properties, is you
Yeah.
feel like you're part of that culture when you're staying there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. For sure.
That was
Um, And it gets addictive, you know, you can only buy so many properties. But yeah, that is absolutely. And I feel like so many of our friends and can relate because, you know, obviously our circle's got a lot of military and they are the same. They're like, you know, or you know, maybe they didn't bring as much stuff back. Maybe they didn't get 8 to 9 years in one location, or they like Frank got obsessed with um Persian rugs. So when he was deployed Middle Eastern, even on deployments where you know they do, contrary to what people may think, there is a little bit of downtime, and they very strategically provide a shopping bazaar, 1 day a week, that's all vetted and it's very secure, and they bring it into the post into your camp where you're staying, so that you get a little bit of downtime. You get that, just a little bit of time to kind of turn off and say, okay, this is my 4 hour weekend.
Right.
And so he was, you know, some of these deployments, he was there for a year or more. And so he would build rapport with these vendors and really get what he, you know, really kind of go through the process of like, and we also, when we were in Germany, it was easy because he could send them back military posts and we could, you know, I could look at them and not that I ever sent one back, but it was always, if that's not what you want, if I've gone over, you know, if I've misread your taste, then send it back. But it really added very unique style to the way we curate a house, if you will, or a
I'm,
condo, or what will
I'm
be
kind of
soon
laughing.
yurts. And
Yeah, I'm kind of laughing only because when I was younger, I used to have like names for like they were just in my head, and then I'd have to get a cat because I had a name. And for me, it kind of sounds like, is it because you guys are in love
super.
with some kind of culture or items or whatever, and now you have to go find a house so you could put this stuff
Yeah, I mean, okay, so it's definitely the chicken and the egg, you know. I mean, and they can speak to that because they've got a chicken coop out on this piece of land. Yeah, I think though it's really moved to the next level now of really making, you know, travel isn't as easy as it's in some ways it's so easy. Anyone can get on an airplane. You don't have to wear a three-piece suit and, you know, be first
Right.
class or be on a business trip. I mean, those days are long gone.
Yeah.
Um, but it's not financially feasible for so many people. So if you can create these spots in a space that's drivable, that's accessible, that yeah, gas is a little high, but it's a lot more reasonable than flying. So, you know, you can get up to Breck in 2.5 hours from the Springs, or 2 hours, depending on where you are. And you can really kind of really feel like you've taken a vacation, even if it's only 2 days or 3 days. And that's Santa Fe is the same. And the minute you drive I-25 and you pass over Raton Pass and you come down the other side of the mountain, it's like the terrain has changed and you've just stepped into another world. And then getting into Santa Fe, you've got some sort of expectations of like, oh, it better be aligned with our expectation of what Santa Fe should look like. And then you
Right.
get in there and go, cool, it is exactly
Mhm.
it's the vibe. It's the right vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So for our listeners right here in Colorado Springs, most don't realize that they can be in Santa Fe, basically a Santa Fe balcony, or ski in, ski out at Peak 8 or whatever it is, in just a few hours. So make the case
Yeah.
for the drive. Why is a Wynne Group stay the perfect reset?
Yeah. Do you want to tackle that? Yeah, I can do that. I got an answer.
I'll tag it and then you can add on. I think, like she said, also the drive. I've driven both Santa Fe and Breckenridge, but to be able, let's say if someone is traveling from Colorado Spring to Breckenridge, the drive alone is a scenic route. So you're seeing things that you usually would just not see just downtown Colorado Spring if you're just going from downtown Colorado Spring to Santa Fe, the same thing. It's beautiful, the drive alone.
Yeah.
But now going to just by driving, going to Santa Fe and staying in the Wynne Group, you're gonna have the experience of like feeling like it's family. or if you are just couples feeling like you are on a honeymoon, you're going to get any vibe you want. The place is going to provide. We have everything, and we make sure we are there to respond. If you need anything, we're right there. I know we're not physically there, but we are there with